guys, welcome back to my channel. I know, guys. Sorry, I just disappeared without notice, but life has been happening for me. But anyway, before we get there, how are you guys? I hope you are doing well. Welcome to Make an Impression. If it's your first time here, karibu sana. My name is Jane, and this is just a safe space where we are choosing to be authentically bold in how we live our lives, whether that is matters faith, lifestyle, or personal development. So, if those are topics that interest you, please do consider hitting the subscribe button and joining this growing family. So today's topic is quite interesting, and I want to talk about mom burnout. And I also want to talk about millennial parenting because I feel like that is the space I am currently in. And I also feel like motherhood is really underrated because if you are a mom like me, you can agree with me that motherhood is really, really a difficult journey to navigate. And every time we are all navigating in this journey, we think one person is doing better than us or one person is good at this thing. But generally, I do feel that we all struggle as moms. We have days where we don't know what we are doing and days where we think that we are the experts in this thing called parenting. And I just thought it's a conversation we need to have around mom burnout because it's something that I know a lot of moms experience. I have also experienced it. I feel like even in this season that I'm here talking to you guys, I have experienced a lot of mom burnout just because of the situations and circumstances that are happening in my life. And I want to start by saying that, guys, I can tell you for sure, I don't think there's any mother who is perfect in this thing called mothering or motherhood. I think we are all just navigating this journey, finding our way through it, and just seeing what we are doing right and correcting what we are doing wrong, and just moving along and hoping and praying that we are giving our children the best of the life that we want for them. So, I think the reason why I was drawn into this topic is because if I can tell you guys, for the last month of August, the reason I've actually been away is because I've had to change my nanny twice. And I can tell you guys, if there is something that mentally, emotionally, physically, all types of that drains me as a mom is training a new nanny and just getting them into my home and into the routine of how things run in my house. And that for me is a big struggle. It's one of the reasons why I would experience mom burnout just like this, because I don't think it's easy for any one of us to invite, just in simple terms, calling them a stranger in your home and now being able to just help them navigate through your systems and get them connected to your system and actually get a routine working for you. So for me, that usually mentally drains me, it physically drains me, it emotionally drains me. So I find that I cannot do any other thing apart from just focusing on that, because if my home is not running right, like if things are not running the way they are supposed to run, I can tell you guys for sure nothing else in my life works. So that's why I always prioritize that, to ensure that at least things are smooth, my kids are happy, we are able to just get a routine that works. Then once that is in order, I'm able to do other things like be present here on YouTube, still be able to work, because guys, I am still employed. I still have an 8 to 5 job. So I also have to commit to that. So a lot of these things take a lot of my energy. And so sometimes when I just don't post consistently, which is not an excuse, because if it's something you want to do, then you have to be consistent. That is the reason why I have not been able to give you guys a video for the last 2 weeks. And I thought it's a conversation we need to have. I don't know if I'm the only mom who struggles with this, but I would like to hear from you as well, if this is something that you find very challenging and just how you navigate through it. Because for me, I think how I have learned to navigate through it is just take it a day at a time and be okay with the fact that for some it will work, for some it will not work, and it's fine. And until I get the person who is right for the job, then I should just take it positively and take it a day at a time until I get there. And that's what has kept me going. I don't know if there's any other superhuman solution that we can apply, guys, but I would love to hear from other moms as well. How do you navigate the process of changing your nanny, or the process of just changing routines in your home? Because I think that's one of the reasons why burnout exists and burnout is real. And that is why we really need support, guys. Moms need a lot of support because I guess we always show up as strong and show up as we know we have it all together. But the truth is, we don't have it all together. It is just by the grace of God that we are able to do all these things and just be happy and look happy. And I don't know, look like we have it together. And so for me, that is one of the reasons why I do experience burnout and how I'm able to just navigate through it, even with the day-to-day activities of life. The second one for me, which I mentioned earlier, is millennial parenting. I think I have found it really difficult to just find the balance between being a reasonable parent and being an authoritative parent because, guys, if there's anything I really struggle with is just finding that balance. Let me tell you guys, I have accepted that I'm more of an authoritative parent, which is not really good for my kids because I'm always like, this has to be done today and it has to be done now. And there's no negotiations. But I thank God for my husband because he kind of like just I'm so jealous of him because he's able to just navigate parenting so well. And I think that just sitting back and looking at him doing that is something that I'm also learning to just navigate through and understand that authoritative parenting is not just the way to go, but there's a way to just be able to balance the two so that my kids can find comfort in coming to me, especially my son, when things have happened or when things are wrong. Right now, I know he can't because he knows mom will just be angry and mom will, and I have accepted that that's also something that I'm really working on. So as a mom, navigating that millennial parenting, just understanding that not everything has to be authoritatively handled, and there are situations where you can just have a conversation and go and get through it. And just that finding value in positive parenting as opposed to authoritative parenting. I think just being able to navigate that can also be a source of burnout because most times you'll just be second guessing yourself. Did I handle this correctly? Am I doing this right? Am I doing this wrong? And so just extending grace to yourself and accepting that, you're also learning. It's not like you went to a class where you were taught that when your child is 7 years old, this is how you're supposed to navigate the relationship you have with him. Nobody has attended that class, but just being able to learn from other people's experiences and just seeing how you can learn from that has also really helped me, and forgiving myself for the times where I have really gone overboard as a parent, and just accepting that, there are days when you will just spark, or there are days where you will just do things not the right way, but just extending myself that grace and forgiving myself and finding ways to recover that trust with my children has also been a good way for me to navigate this motherhood journey, and also just deal with the burnout that comes with self-sabotage, that comes with all these things, for blaming yourself for a lot of things that your kids are going through, and just being okay with that. The third one that I had written down is so before I get to the third one, there's something I also wanted to talk about, which is also just part of the experience I currently have because my kids are still young, is being okay with an untidy house. Not an unclean house, guys. Let's get the difference. A clean house, but an untidy house. And by untidy, I mean being okay, like letting your children be loose, letting your children build and have experiences within your home. Because I realize that there's no other place where kids are going to go and throw cushions and be happy about it. It only has to be in their home, right? So I have learned to also just let go of let me just call it a sort of like, I don't know if it's a perfectionism OCD or what to call it, but wanting things to be structured and wanting things to be in order all the time. I, as a mom, I have been guilty of that, and it's because I generally just love a clean and well arranged home. But with kids, I'm realizing that kids just want to be free. Kids just want to be happy. Kids just want to know that they can be in the house, they can play, they can throw their toys, they can do things by just virtue of the fact that they are kids and they will still be accepted in their home. So that has also been a learning lesson for me, guys. Please just let your kids be, let your kids navigate this season of childhood, because it's not going to last forever. Probably in the next 5 years, they will be the ones who are telling me that, Mom, we need to keep a tidy home. They'll probably be the ones who will be doing the tidiness for me. So I'm not just saying completely let it go. I'm just saying that we let our kids be kids. We let them just enjoy being in the home environment, enjoy playing with your things, enjoy just being kids and being able to enjoy that with them, because the season does not last forever. So I think that has also really helped me deal with burnout, because sometimes you just find yourself constantly arranging things, constantly trying to put things back in order, always complaining about why things are left here and there, until you realize that, by the way, it's not being done intentionally. It's because these are just kids and they just want to be happy. They just want to feel like they are in a home where they are loved. They are in a home where they are accepted. They are in a home where they can just make a mess and just be, and it can just be okay, as long as they understand that once you finish doing this, you need to put things back in order, or there's a reason why people just keep a clean home. Explain to them why the house needs to be in order. Explain to them why toys need to be put back in one place once they finish playing, so that you're not stuck in authoritative parenting, guys. I am also learning, and I hope you get to learn with me in this journey. I'm also really open to hear from you guys. How do you navigate this motherhood journey? How do you handle some of these distresses that just look like they're kawaida, but for other moms it can really be a tall order? I would really, really love to hear from you guys. So the other way I am able to just work through these burnout seasons when they come is finding time for self, finding time to rejuvenate, finding time to connect with who I am, just as Jane, finding time to connect with what I love and being able to do that, because those things kind of like put me back into my into the center of who I am. Like as much as, yes, I am a mom, yes, I am doing all these other things, I'm pursuing a career, I'm back in education, or I'm being a wife, I am able to centrally bring myself back to a space of love, a space of self-care. And for me, those things can really be the simplest of things. For me, it's just taking a quiet walk. If I just leave my house, take a quiet walk for 15-20 minutes, come back into the house, that helps me self-rejuvenate. That helps me bring myself back into the center, so that I'm not feeling so overwhelmed. I'm not feeling like, what life did I choose? Why did I choose to have kids? Because let me tell you guys, as much as we don't want to admit it, there are times we ask ourselves, what was I thinking having these kids? But yeah, so being able to bring myself back into that space allows me to really just be able to enjoy motherhood despite all the stresses or all the challenges that I feel come with that space or that responsibility. It always helps me to settle back. So find that thing that just makes you feel like yourself once again. Is it time away from everything else? Is it playing with your kids? Is it going for a spa date? Is it whatever it is that you feel that really takes your fancy, that really brings you back into that space of who you are? Please find time to do that, because it will really help you navigate all this journey of burnout, of motherhood, of all these things that we have to take responsibility for. The last thing, yo guys, I wasn't sure if I wanted to talk about this. I actually really debated a lot. I hope my camera is clear. I really debated a lot if I wanted to talk about this, and it's about the Proverbs 31 woman. I know a lot of us, the minute you mention that verse, it's like, I'll switched off. I don't want to hear this conversation. I am also like you guys, because I have always questioned, what is this Proverbs 31 woman like? Because she sounds like some superhero who does not exist, because the world we live in, guys, if we start thinking of ourselves as a Proverbs 31 woman, that is when burnout comes in, because you're trying to stretch yourself too much. You want to do 1,000 things at the same time. But the way I have come to learn to understand this woman is that she is a seasonal woman. She is a woman who, in different seasons, shows up as the best version of herself in that particular season. So, if you're in a season where motherhood is really straining you, you're in a season where probably you're a new mom, you're overwhelmed with your newborn, probably your kids are in the teenage stage, and now you're just wondering how to navigate all these conversations around growing up and all these things that they have to experience. If your kids are getting married and you're just wondering what advice to give them, maybe you've raised them as a single mom, all these different seasons that we experience as mothers. I feel that the Proverbs 31 woman is actually there to encourage us that we need to show up as the best version of the woman we are in the season we are in. Not trying to stretch ourselves too thin to do all these things at once, to try to be superheroes, to try to be the best, to try to be I don't know what, because let me tell you guys, just the fact that you are a mom, already you have won. So you're not trying to prove anything to anyone. I think we just need to ask for God's grace, to ask for God's wisdom as we navigate motherhood, as we navigate raising these kids, these bundles of joy that God blessed us with, as we try to understand how we are supposed to give the best versions of ourselves to them. I really hope that this provides us with an opportunity to do just that, not by feeling that we are not doing our best, or trying to compare ourselves with the Proverbs 31 woman, trying to do all these things, but really just being the best version of yourself in the season that you find yourself in, so that we can be able to work through our burnout seasons without really getting into depression, without really feeling overwhelmed, without really feeling like we are failing, but just navigating that journey, navigating that burnout season by just being the best version of ourselves and extending grace to ourselves. Because let me tell you guys, I can tell you for sure, no mom is perfect. No mom knows what they're doing, or at least that's what I know from experience and from the friends, other people that I have around me who have kids. But what we are doing is we are doing our best. We are giving our best based on the information we have, based on our exposures, based on the things that we want to achieve, and all these things. So I really wish you all the best, as I wish myself all the best, and just say that motherhood is a journey that needs to be embraced. It has its challenges, it has its moments where it's a lot, but if there is that process of navigation that just allows you to extend grace to yourself and handle that process, I think that we are going to continue just giving our best and being the best versions of ourselves as we do that. I really hope you have learned something from this conversation, and I would also really love to hear from you. Please just leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know how you navigate motherhood. Let me know the challenges that you're not clear on and you're just wondering, guys, please help me know how to navigate this. You never know, somebody else in the comment section might actually have a good answer for you, or something that would help you navigate what you're going through. So to all the moms, all the best. If you're in your burnout season like me, let us just encourage one another and hope that we will be able to skip this phase and we will get into a phase of joyfulness, and a phase where things will just settle down, the dust will settle, and we will continue enjoying this journey. That's it for today's conversation. If it's your first time here, karibu sana. Welcome to Make an Impression. This is just a safe space where we are constantly and continuously choosing to be authentically bold in how we live our lives, whether that is matters faith, lifestyle, or personal development. I do look forward to seeing you in the next conversation and in the next conversation. And please remember to leave a like if you enjoyed this conversation. See you in the next one. Bye.